welcome to the Random Stuff Utah News Podcast with our guest star Toby Roth, and we're gonna get started. So, all right. Shout out to Taco Bell for ruining my food once again, and okay, at least he'll clean me out. Okay. So here's Toby Roth and me for the Random Stuff Studios podcast, Utah News, and shout out to Joey Braxton and Eddie Larson and Quinn Conley for supporting me through all this, and Toby as well, winning the giveaway to be the guest star today. Make sure to check out my Instagram, randomstuffstudios_YT, and there will be giveaways every couple weeks, and make sure to subscribe and listen to it on Spotify, and let's get started on the basketball segment. All right, we're going to start with the Utah Jazz. Yeah. Say what you want about the Utah Jazz.
Where did it go? They have been a professional sports team since 1978 to present. They're Utah's known for the Real Salt Lake soccer team and the Utah Jazz basketball team. I don't know where it went.
Well, we'll come back to him. The Utah Jazz are 4-7, 2-0 in the in-season tournament right now, which is amazing. They have not had a great year to start, and they're fourth in the Northwest Division, which is pretty dang good with how their season has started. They beat Portland on Tuesday, 115-99. That was a huge dub. My player of the game that game would have been Clarkson with 30 points. Who's your MVP for that game?
That's the wrong team. Ooh, probably Jordan Clarkson.
Tell me why.
When you said that.
So why is he your MVP of the week? Of the game?
He's just an overall good shooter, and he knows how to play basketball the right way.
That's what I'm saying. On Friday, November 17th, they'll be playing Phoenix at 8 p.m. It'll be on ESPN. Check that out. So that's exciting and can really ball out. I think the Jazz have a good chance this year in the tournament. I don't think they'll do well in the playoffs, but if they even make it, but I think they'll
make the playoffs.
Yeah, I think it'll be good for sure. But it's a good year. So, and now we'll move on to the Utah women's basketball team, who's 2-1, 7th in the Pac-12. Anything you want to say?
Nope, because I don't know nothing about that.
Facts. They beat Colorado. Let's see.
They beat Baylor 2 days ago.
They lost to Baylor 2 days ago.
Sorry.
So their only losses to Baylor. They beat South Carolina State 108-48. They lost to Baylor 77-84. And they beat Mississippi Valley State 104-45. So that's 200-point games this year, man. That's a crazy stat. Actually, I don't think it's as crazy for women's basketball as it's men's basketball, because women's basketball has 4 quarters.
Oh yeah, men's only has 2.
Yeah. But I could be wrong. I don't watch women's basketball that much. They'll be playing Alaska Anchorage on November 18th, Saturday.
What game?
In Alaska. So that's gonna be a fun game, I'd say. That's gonna be it's gonna be like it's gonna be a tournament, and if they win that, they'll either play EKU or UAB. We'll see from there. So anything else on that team?
Nope.
Okay. Now we'll move on to BYU men's basketball, who's had a great season to start. They're 3-0, fourth in the Big 12. They beat number 17 San Diego State to get 2-0. Who was in the national championship last year, which is amazing. And BYU's just balling out right now. They have 2 100-point games this year. They beat Houston Christian 110-63. They beat number 17 San Diego State 74-65, and then they beat Southern Eastern Louisiana 105-48. BYU, I think, if they can go 9-3, 10-2 before the conference play, and then go like 500 in conference play, I think they can be the March Madness for sure. Because Big 12 is known to be the hardest conference to be in basketball. So that's pretty good. So, yeah, that's pretty good. And my player of the game that game, it's a hard choice. But I think I'm going to go with Traore. He played 17 minutes, went 6 for 7 in field goals, 2 for 2 in 3-pointers, 4 for 4 in free throws, 1 offensive rebound, 2 defensive rebounds, 3 rebounds in all. Got 1 assist, 0 blocks, but he got 2 steals and 18 points. He balled out last night, so that's pretty good. So that's fun. And what about you?
I wanted to go with Jackson Robinson. He got 17 points, 1 assist, and 4 rebounds that game. That's
good stuff. And that puts BYU basketball at 3-0. It's exciting for sure. So, yeah. And then we'll move on to Utah men's basketball, who's 2-0 right now. They're 7th in the Pac-12. They beat Eastern Washington 101-66, and they beat UC Riverside 82-53. And they'll be playing Wake Forest November 16th in Charleston. So that's tonight. I did not say who BYU played next. BYU basketball. So who do they play? They play Morgan State. Morgan State.
Saturday.
Thanks for your research, Toby Ross.
You're welcome.
All right. So my player of the game for the UC Riverside game, I mean, I didn't watch it. I just didn't watch it, but I researched it, and my man Isaiah Moses, man, 12 points, 1 turnover, 2 assists, 4 rebounds, and yeah, that was a good game for him. So he was definitely my MVP for that Utah game. So we just lost him. Okay.
You just said Isaiah Moses, dude. I wanted to go with Luke Turner. He did 29 minutes, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, and only 3 points. He didn't score much, but he got a lot of minutes out on the court.
There we go. So that's good. And we'll move on to BYU women's basketball, who's had a great year to start too. They are 3-0. They're 10th in the Big 12. Again, one of the hardest hardest conference to play in. So that dog in the background, bro. It's crazy. So yeah, women's basketball, they're 3-0. beating Montana State 68-60, Weber State 77-49, and Utah Valley 59-44. And that Utah Valley game was definitely huge.
Wake Forest too.
What? Oh yeah, and then BYU will be playing Wake Forest in the North Shore Showcase on November 18th, Saturday, at 7:30 in Hawaii. That'll be a good game, and then yeah, it'll be pretty fun. So, yeah. My player of the game for the Utah Valley game. Let's see. Doesn't know what he's doing.
No, I do not. I have no idea who any of these people are. Kylie Smiler. Can't for some reason see the
Stats.
yeah.
The stats aren't coming up for us. I found them. My player of the game is definitely
The freak.
Woolston.
It's not even
Scored 19 points, 1 offensive rebound, 9 defensive rebounds, 10 rebounds. That's crazy. So got a double-double. That's pretty good. Got 1 assist. Did turn over the ball 6 times. Not great. Played 35 minutes. That double-double was huge, though, man. What about you?
Says Lauren Gustin grabs 21 rebounds in BYU's win overall in UVU. So.
That's who you pick?
Yeah, that's who I picked.
And she got a double-double as well. She scored 13 points. That's pretty nice. So, yeah, that's crazy. And 11 of those rebounds were offensive rebounds stuff. That's just awesome, man. Good pick right there, Toby. And we'll move on to Utah State women. She's not having a hot start this year. They're 1-2, 10th in the Mountain West. They lost to I don't even know what team that is. CSUN, 64-79. Then they lost to Eastern Washington, 39-7. They just got demolished by Eastern Washington. That's ridiculous. You're supposed to be a D1 school and you lose to Eastern Washington. I'm not trying to bash on them or anything, but that's a D2 school right there that you just got crapped on. And but then they came back and won against Kansas City, 62-60. Close game. Should not be that close from a D1 to D2 school, as I was saying, but I don't know what's going on. They might just have a new coaching staff. I don't know. I don't know everything about it, but hopefully they can turn things around and show what kind of team they really are. So, my parody game, that game definitely would be. I'm going to say Cheyenne Stubbs. She played 34 minutes. She got 3 rebounds, 3 assists. She did turn over the ball 4 times. Not a great stat there. She got 1 block and 2 steals. She got 19 points. That's a good stat right there. How about you, Toby? Who's your MVP?
Oh, boy. I'm going to have to go with Macy Smith. She got 8 minutes, and then her... Where the frick? I can't see. Oh, then she got 0 points. Dang it. I can't really see that. Yeah, she got 0.
It looks like she's a backup, bro. Okay. She got an MVP, man. That's great.
Woohoo.
And then we'll move on to the last team of this basketball segment, the Utah State men's basketball team. 2-1, first in the Mountain West right now. Great start on the year for Utah men's. That's pretty. Utah State men's. That's great. Yeah. They beat South Dakota Mines 101-48. Good 100-point game for the team there. And then they lost to Bradley. Yeah, who's Bradley, right?
I have no idea.
And they lost in overtime, 72-66 in Illinois, so it was a away game. And then they beat Southern Utah 93-84. So, and they'll be playing Marshall on November 19th. So that's good. They'll be playing the Cayman Islands Classic in Cayman Islands at 3 p.m. Mountain Time, and so that'll be pretty nice. And my MVP for the Southern Utah game, I'm gonna go with Prophet Johnson. Man, he played 36 minutes. He went 9 for 11 in shots. He had one offensive and one defensive rebound. 1 assist, 4 turnovers. Again, not a great stat, but he scored 24 points to help him get to that win. And so, actually, I think that's Southern Utah's.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was like, why is Utah's all the way down here?
That's interesting. So actually, I'm gonna pick Ozabar Great. He scored 31 points, 1 steal, and 3 blocks, 4 assists, 10 rebounds in all. So he got double. Great work there. And how about you, Toby?
I'm gonna do Darius Brown. He got 37 minutes, 8 to 13 field goal percentages, 3-point is 5 and 9, and then he got 22 points.
Okay.
Pretty decent.
Yeah, it's pretty dang good. Yeah, that's awesome. Good start for Utah State men's basketball team. And now we're gonna move on to a segment that doesn't have to do with sports. It's called the advice segment. We're gonna give some advice. My advice to you guys this time is take time to know yourself. Know thyself, said Aristotle. When you know who you are, you can be wise about your goals, your dreams, your standards, your convictions. Knowing who you are allows you to live your life with purpose and meaning. So that's good advice for me there. And Toby, what's your advice to them?
Just set your own goals, and if someone tries to bring you down, just lift your own self up, and then just keep on progressing.
There we go. That's a good one right there. Yeah, we will now move on to the soccer segment. All right, so the soccer segment, we'll start with Real Salt Lake. It's a quick. They were kicked out of the playoffs. That's all we could really find. They were kicked out. Sure, pretty recently, because it said something about them getting kicked out first round for 2 years in a row today. Like, something came out today. And so 2 years in a row, Real Salt Lake kind of sucks. Yep. Utah Jazz all over again, just in soccer. Okay. Okay, we got BYU women's soccer, who's balling out right now, bro.
Yeah, pretty good.
They are in the NCAA tournament right now. They're in the second round after beating Utah State in the first round. And BYU is the number 1 seed. Their record. Alright, so they are 17-2-3, beating Utah State in the first round of the playoffs, and we'll be playing number 8 seed USC tonight. So, pretty good.
Tonight at 7.
Tonight at 7 at BYU. We got Utah women's soccer, who did not have a great year. 6-8-6. They ended their year losing to Colorado 2-3. At home. That's rough.
I hate losing when you're at home.
Yeah, you gotta. And then we got Utah State women's soccer. They are 14-7-1. Well, were. They got kicked out first round in playoffs against BYU. So
let's go Cougars.
Let's go Cougs. So that's pretty good. Pretty good year for Utah State coming in there. And they were one of the only losses BYU had this year and during the regular season. And so Utah State went in there probably with big heads and just weren't ready for it. Maybe that's Utah State. All right. And now we'll move on to the random fact segment. My random fact is when a male penguin falls in love with a female penguin, he searches the entire beach to find a perfect pebble to present to her.
My fact is the Eiffel Tower can be 15 centimeters taller during the summer due to the thermal expansion, meaning to the iron heats up, the particles gain kinetic energy and take up more space. I did not know that.
I don't think anyone did, honestly. Okay, we'll move on to the baseball segment now.
Oh, fat.
All right, so now we're moving on to the baseball segment. We're gonna start with the Salt Lake Bees. They're 33-42. They ended the season 33-42. Not a great year. Hopefully they can turn that around next year. Anything for you to say, Toby?
Nope, I don't know nothing about baseball for you.
Okay. All right, and then BYU baseball did not end their season well either. They went 24-28, and Utah baseball even worse, 22-32-1. And so we're gonna hurry into the quote segment. My quote is, "All that we are is the result of what we have thought." Buddha.
Mine is the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing by Walt Disney.
Yes, sir. All right.
The legend.
All right, and now we are on the hockey segment. We only have one team in there, the Utah Grizzlies. They're 4-for-4 on the year so far. They've scored 24 goals and 24 goals scored against them. Anything you want to say about that?
Nope, because I have no idea we had even a hockey team in Utah.
Okay, let's just say the Utah Grizzlies need to turn things around if they want to be good. The next segment is the joke of the day. My joke is a pair of cows were talking in the field. One says, "Have you heard about the mad cow disease that's going around?" The other says, "Yeah." The other cow says, "Makes me glad I'm a penguin." Alright, how about you?
My quote of the day is, today I asked my phone, Siri, why am I single? And it activated the front camera.
Oh! Alright, that'll be it. Alright, so we're in the football segment, the most fun sports segment of the podcast. We're going to start with Utah football, who's 7-3, 6th in the Pac-12, and ranked 22nd in the country. They had a tough loss last week against number 5 Washington, 28-35 in Washington, so I think they could pull off the win if they were in the Rice-Eccles Stadium, for sure. So that was a big game for them, and they'll be playing Arizona on Saturday, number 17 Arizona, which I think Utah should have a win there. I mean, I don't see why Utah shouldn't win that. And then they'll play Colorado after that, senior night, and so that'll be pretty good. Anything you want to say?
Utah got beat by Oregon by a lot, which is good, but that's all I have to say.
All right. Okay. And so now we're going to move on to BYU football. Had a tough year, but we can't blame them. It's their first year in the Big 12. They're 5-5, 10th in the Big 12 right now. Probably won't be bowl eligible this year, but anything can happen at this point.
There's a 10 a.m. game on Saturday.
Yeah. They lost to Iowa State last week, 45-13. People left the stadium by the third quarter. So that was rough. Hopefully BYU can bounce back and somehow beat Oklahoma this week. Doubt it. Oklahoma's a good team. I There's not much to say about BYU at this point. They kind of suck this year.
I don't know. They can bring back Slovis for this game, please.
Facts. Now we'll move on to Utah State, who's 5-5, 7th in the Mountain West. They beat Nevada last week, 41-24, and then also beat San Diego State the week before, 32-24. And they are going to play Boise this week. I think Boise's going to pull off that win. Boise's a good team, and so that'll be pretty good.
They're home.
Yeah, I still think Boise's going to win.
Boise got a good record.
Yeah. Okay.
New Mexico.
Yeah, that's about it for the football segment. Now for short stories. How about you go first?
I actually. It's called The Escape Man. I read a lot of thrillers, so it's really difficult to catch me off guard. Somehow this one caught me with a plot twist.
It's
Wait, what?
You...
Oh, hold on.
Okay, I'll go first. Why not?
Hold on. Yeah, you go.
Okay, mine's called the Bricklayers Accident Report Story. This is a follow-up letter to the Bricklayers Accident Support requesting workers' compensation. Dear Sir, I am writing in response to your request for additional information in the block number 3 of the accident reporting form. I put poor planning as the cause of my accident. You asked for a fuller explanation, and I trust the following details will be sufficient. I'm a bricklayer by trade. On the day of the accident, I was working alone on the roof of a new 6-story building. When I completed my work, I found I had some bricks left over, which, when weighed later, were found to weigh 240 pounds. Rather than carry the bricks down by hand, I decided to lower them in a barrel by using a pulley, which was attached to the side of the building at the 6th floor. Securing the rope at ground level, I went up to the roof and swung the barrel out and loaded the bricks into it. Then I went down and untied the rope, holding it tightly to ensure a slow descent of the 240 pounds of bricks. You will note on the accident reporting form that my weight is 135 pounds. Due to my surprise at being jerked off the ground so suddenly, I lost my presence of mind and forgot to let go of the rope. Needless to say, I proceeded at a rapid rate up the side of the building. In the vicinity of the 3rd floor, I met the barrel, which was now proceeding downward at an equally impressive speed. This explains the fractured skull, minor abrasions, and the broken collarbone, as listed in Section 3 accident reporting form. Slowed only slightly, I continued my rapid ascent, not stopping until the fingers of my right hand were 2 knuckles deep in the pulley, which I mentioned in paragraph 2 of this correspondence. Fortunately, by this time I had regained my presence of mind and was able to hold tightly to the rope in spite of the excruciating pain I was now beginning to experience. At approximately the same time, however, the barrel of bricks hit the ground at the bottom broke up the barrel, now devoid of the weight of the bricks. The barrel weighed approximately 50 pounds. I refer to you again to my weight. As you might imagine, I began a rapid descent down the side of the building. In the vicinity of the 3rd floor, I met the barrel coming up. This accounts for 2 fractured ankles, broken tooth, and the severe lacerations of my legs and lower body. Here my luck began to change slightly. The encounter with the barrel seemed to slow me enough to lessen my injuries when I fell into the pile of bricks. Unfortunately, only 3 vertebrae were cracked. I am sorry to report, however, as I lay there on a pile of bricks in pain, unable to move and watching the empty barrel 6 stories above me, I again lost my composure and presence of mind and let go of the rope. The empty 50-pound barrel, weighing more than the rope I had let go, fell rapidly to the earth, resulting in 2 broken forearms and wrists when I raised my hand to protect myself. I hope this information satisfactorily fulfills your request for further information. Bro, that was... How do you let that happen to yourself, you know? How do you let that happen to yourself? That's crazy. How about you?
Okay, now, the escaped man. The rain was falling heavily. It was driving through a thick current of water. It eased off the accelerator a little. Had to be careful driving on wild nights like these. The last thing you'd want is to have an accident or breakdown. You just want to be at home on these stormy nights. The storm was terrible, and a man stopped on the side of the road to pick up a hitchhiker. The man was completely soaked, but the mystery remained. Who was he? Where was he going? Why was he there? That's all my story. It's a weird, like...
That's a weird story. Doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
Okay then. Okay, that'll do it for the Random Stuff Studios Utah podcast. Thanks for Toby Ross being the guest star today, and make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to follow the Instagram account for giveaways every couple weeks. Random Stuff Studios _YouTube, well YT for YouTube, and we'll see you next time.